With regards to the current factionalism battles within Zanu-PF, one has to ask the question, especially when the war veterans and other factions are coming out stating that they are busy representing Zimbabweans and they are speaking on behalf of all Zimbabweans, that Emmerson Mnangagwa's government has killed the people or is too corrupt to be running. A question can't help it but ask the question whether or not these people are they genuine in their response or they want to eat from the table. Zanu-PF had no problem with the deaths in 2008, or we never had a problem with the deaths in 2018, nor did it have a problem with the rigged elections. Why all of a sudden are they showing care to the Zimbabweans? Particularly, it's easy. The Zimbabweans at the end of the day hold the power to actually elect a government, even though the elections are rigged. Their recognition of a particular government is very important to either faction or Zanu-PF. So that's why all of them are speaking out loud. While Mnangagwa's faction clearly doesn't have the votes and doesn't have the numbers of the people, Chiwenga's faction would have the votes and the number of the people. Think about this way. Wouldn't it have made sense to start singing the 2030 mantra leading to the Zanu-PF National People's Congress? Because the decisions that are made by the National People's Congress, which takes place every 5 years, just a year before an election, are binding and are accepted by the party. The National Conference makes recommendations, but they are not binding. Like, for example, last year's National Conference that stated that Emmerson Mnangagwa must be a president beyond 2028 cannot be binding. It can be refused by Central Committee members, so it does not stand. Emmerson Mnangagwa is trying to play the people. But most importantly, we need to understand this thing. What led to Emmerson Mnangagwa to try to fight and to push for ED 2030 too early in 2025 or in 2024, or particularly as soon as November 2024 arrived? I mean, particularly as soon as like after August or after the August summit, the 2030 calls were increasing at a rapid rate, and in 2025 we've seen a big show. What led to that? Why is there so much rush to it? The thing is that it's Wicknell Chivayo. What Wicknell Chivayo did with Mike Chimombe and all of those voice notes and all of those information that was leaked on social media exposed Mnangagwa as a person that was supporting or that is pro Chivayo, or a person that is supporting only one business interest of Wicknell Chivayo. The war veterans and the other factions of Zanu-PF saw that Mnangagwa is giving the bread that they're supposed to be sharing, even the corruption bread that they're supposed to be sharing, is going to particular pockets and they're being excluded. In that case, that angered them, and now they're involving Zimbabweans. But to them, it's unbeknown that Wicknell Chivayo angoriyo zvake character. He is just playing a role that he was told to play. He is basically an actor, a Mbinga actor. He is acting on behalf of Emmerson Mnangagwa. All of those deals, they go back either to Emmerson Mnangagwa or his family. Wicknell Chivayo at best is just acting. The fact that Wicknell Chivayo couldn't like get the ZEC or the Zimbabwe Anti-Corruption Commission behind him, or he still has a case pending with them, it automatically tells you that Wicknell Chivayo is weak and can be thrown in jail anytime should Mnangagwa feel so. He's only here because of Mnangagwa. But what Wicknell Chivayo's voice notes did, they exposed Emmerson Mnangagwa's cover. It's now seen that he is busy funneling money back into his with his so-called non-brothers like Wicknell Chivayo, and that's a problem. So Emmerson Mnangagwa couldn't convince the people beyond reasonable doubt. Remember when the gold mafia issue once came out, for example, What we saw, what Zimbabwean government did, it lied that it froze all the bank accounts of the linked individuals. Now, this was a smoke screen to play the military veterans or the other factions in Zanu-PF to show as if Mnangagwa was acting tough on corruption, on gold smuggling, and all of those smuggling activities, to act like he didn't know what is happening. They acted as if they are gonna prosecute anything, which they never eventually did. So the same thing that they did with Wicknell Chivayo and Mike Chimombe case, except that Mike Chimombe and Moses Mpofu ended up in jail, Wicknell Chivayo remained because he's instrumental to Mnangagwa's plan. So Wicknell Chivayo is the one that caused Mnangagwa to panic too early for the ED 2030 plan. Because once the cover was exposed, Wicknell Emmerson Mnangagwa has to act fast to resist or to act fast and out of desperation too, because these people they were coming for him. The other factions in Zanu-PF, they were coming for him, and once they come for him in Zanu-PF, they can't come for you and still be alive, especially for Emmerson Mnangagwa. It's either you run like an Achihudi, you run to Malawi, like you have that prof that speaks a lot more or something, you run to Kenya, you hide once Zanu-PF comes for you. So Emmerson Mnangagwa now is using the money to buy the people that will sing the ED 2030 mantra. That's the whole point of it, including prominent men of God. Now they're singing the whole 2030 mantra. It's a show of panic for Emmerson Mnangagwa. Again, I reiterate, it would have made much more sense to speak about the ED 2030 in 2027, leading to 2028 elections, leading to the 2027 Congress of Zanu-PF. That way they would have faced little resistance because of the time constraints, and they would have lied, and the decisions made by Zanu-PF Congress are binding constitutionally. But they're singing it now because they have no more time anymore to keep up with the charade. Wicknell Chivayo exposed Emmerson Mnangagwa due to his expenditure. Now, Wicknell Chivayo, was here a good strategic maneuver for Emmerson Mnangagwa? No, for all of us, we could see that Wicknell Chivayo is basically controlled by someone else. When Wicknell gives a car or when he does something, there's one name that he puts above any other name, including above Zanu-PF's name. It's Emmerson Mnangagwa. Wicknell Chivayo, if he was a good businessman, he would have dealt with Zek. And there is this girlfriend of his that is called Lulu or something like that particular sort. Do you ask yourself, why is she always involved, and she's also being part of those people that are meeting the delegates of international people like the president of Rwanda, not the president of Rwanda, the president of Kenya and Tanzania? Automatically, it should be telling you that she's either one of Mnangagwa's agents to keep Chivayo in check, or she is planted there for something. There is a reason why this girl is also meeting these people. Sorry about showing the Magaia's picture. I mean, it's a funny issue. They're planning PhD. Anyways, there is something that this girl is doing. Like, it doesn't make sense. Why would you meet world leaders with your girlfriend? Someone that is actually called your girlfriend. Can you listen to Hubert Angel? Why is he also come out to the ED 2030 mantra?
Head names. Because they party at night, but we, the public, get the hangover. Vanakirwa estane tawaparas mangwanacho. Hauna kumba kwe kurara, you don't have a place to stay. You are. People are arguing on stupid things. 2030. Is it 2033? Is it 24? Shut up. Just let's do the work. I normally don't comment on this. Why do you speak for the man who has already said, I'm not going there? I'm not interested in that. Just do your thing. And why does democracy have to get to a point where if I say I'm putting a motion that Trump should rule forever, if I say Trump is ruling forever, anyone, democracy should allow you to put a motion. You want to, so you want the president to continue, no problem, put a motion. That's democracy. Let them wait until you vote it out. That's okay, vote it out. See what we continue doing? Nobody's thinking, I think I'm hating the leader. Or I think I'm hating the progress. Everyone is just thinking, yeah, if I do this, I will embrace this one, and that one, and that one. And everything is lost in translation. Right now, what we're interested in, when I move and go into Mashingo, the road is well. But you see the idea? Because the enemy has put demonic tendencies in you. You are busy arguing on wrong things because darkness has taken over. And I can hear someone say, oh, what have you just said? Do you think I fear? Some of these people are not working. They're just not doing their job. And you know, if my pastors here are not doing their job, what will happen to me? They will think I'm useless. And the moment I decide to change this, was why are you changing them? Even in this place here, we have changed people. Moved one from this direction, from this branch. I don't comment on politics, but there is a time where we should just shut up and say, who is working? Who is working? The man you are talking about is quiet. He's not even answering. He's not even getting involved in it.
Now, why is the man of God so scared about the ED 2030 resistance? We don't see Hubert Angel commenting on people being short or the lack of medication in Zimbabwe or anything that affects us, because the ED 2030 affects him personally. Should ED go down, he might find himself in Chikurubi himself, or he might find himself running out of the country. We have seen what's happening to Magaya already. I mean, the guy has a lot of pending cases. All of these people, the Hubert Angels and the people that are coming out, they are feeling some sort of a pressure. Fighting for 2030 or ED 2030 is very essential for them. Zvakakosha zvikuru for them to be fighting for 2030, because losing the 2030 bid means prison straight for them. Chiwenga, if you are to come into government, or anyone if they have to come into government, let's say even if Emmerson Mnangagwa's government, this 2030 thing wins, Zanu-PF will never be the same before this whole 2030 thing. They have to get rid of elements that could resist potentially one day. So there is going to be a fight. There is going to be a brutal fight within Zanu-PF. So basically, if they were to come back, all of these Hubert Angels, they will be running. And Hubert Angel, again, is also protecting his gold mafia interest, because they're earning big, these people, at the end of the day. They're enjoying all of these ambassador, I pass through free or something of that particular sort. They're earning big at the expense of Zimbabweans. Doesn't matter if Trump cuts us down or anything of that particular sort. And to make things worse, I need to explain to you this one concept that is very important. Zimbabweans perhaps are in the situation that we are in because basically that's how our society is. There is things that we value in Zimbabwe than you might think. Like, we don't value Ubuntu, or we don't value we value corruption, we value lies, and we value deceit. Check when Wicknell Chivayo posts something on social media, and check when someone posts something that is exposing corruption or that is trying to say something on social media. Some people, they know what Wicknell Chivayo does, but still they say, can I have a car, say, can I this and that. Some people, they know about Zanu-PF, but they can't stand for the truth before asking about their stomachs. But we do have one person that is seemingly quiet about this whole thing, Nelson Chamisa, of which for me I feel like the guy is more of a stooge. Not only does he not resist the 2030 in its entirety, it's either he tweets, but when he tweets he doesn't say anything about the 2030, or he doesn't say anything of that particular sort. I feel as if we should practice caution with Nelson Chamisa. He has the people's masses. The people do like Nelson Chamisa. They prefer Nelson Chamisa to be leading. The people see him as an alternate option, including me. If I were to be given a vote between any Zanu-PF candidate and Nelson Chamisa, I would rather go for Nelson Chamisa. There's no way I'm casting it for. But the problem with these Chamisa people is that either we give him the vote and he ends up leaving the party, selling it out basically to Zanu-PF, selling the CC out to Zanu-PF. Tafumane Masaya died to Zanu-PF, or died protecting a party that he thought was a change from Zanu-PF. One day, that party turned around and it was promoting Zanu-PF ED 2030, escaping the. And talking about the 2028 elections, what happens? Why is ED skipping them? Those elections, there's a chance that the opposition might win, or there might be a new opposition coming from Zanu-PF. And the new opposition that might come from Zanu-PF could actually win those elections. That's why ED Mnangagwa wants to skip it completely. And ED Mnangagwa enjoys this power because by the powers of the legislation or the powers of the government institutions, he still has much control over them than those warfares, than those factions, other factions within Zanu-PF that are resisting him. Yesterday, we heard that Chimama, the person that is a social media account of Chimama, was furious. Why did they give Emmerson Mnangagwa 10 more days to vacate the office? So there is something that is happening deep behind the scenes. So I hope that tomorrow we'll be able to discuss the issue of Rwanda versus South Africa and the DRC. To be honest with you, there is deeper interest on both countries. Like, okay, there's things that are lying beneath the carpet than what you just see. Some people, they say that the M23 rebels are freedom fighters, of which on the ground they will tell you that something like Ukraine is busy defending its territory. They will tell you something that can capture your moral justification for the war on both sides. Other people, they're saying that they're defending Congo's sovereignty, but at the end of the day, it's all about the eastern province of Goma, which is rich in natural resources. That's the war fight about. No one really cares about. Congo is like a broken society, same as Zimbabwe. Maybe Zimbabwe is worse. A prophet that just lied about his PhD. A lot of people are still defending him. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching. Hope that I see you guys tomorrow.